We now come to the third application of the Xlookup function, which is to use your lookup value to pull a non-approximate match. And let me explain this with an example. So in the data set that we've given you, in the last video, we ended on the region column where we used a horizontal lookup array to pull the region based on the country where the employee is working in. Now I've gone ahead and and added an extra column over here called percentage achievement. This is nothing but the percentage of the target that the employee has achieved. So this is equal to the achievement divided by the target, which tells me that this employee has achieved 63% of their defined sales target. Now, what I would like to do is, I would like to use this achievement figure in order to pull their performance tier. So if you see over here in my lists of values, you will see that if a person has achieved between 0 to 40%, I want them to be marked as below expectations. Then we have once you cross 40%, you are at the bronze level. Then you are silver, gold, and platinum. Now, how would I pull these values into my master table without having to create a lookup array which is based on all the possible values that can exist from 0 to whatever highest percentage this person can go to. So if you see in my table, I actually have a person here who has achieved 296%. So it's obvious that in order to use the Xlookup in the way that we have seen up till now, which is at an exact match, I would need to have all of these values available to me in my lookup array. That feels a bit unnecessary, especially because if I were to actually increase the decimal places, you would see that it's not just one value that we are talking about. It's also all the decimal values in between these integer values. So instead, what we are going to do is use the option of a non-exact match. And let me show you how that is done. So we start off with our Xlookup formula. My lookup value is the percentage achievement. My lookup array is again in my lists of values, which is the target achievement here. Don't forget to press F4. And now I want it to return the performance criteria that this person has met, which is in my return array over here. Again, I press an F4. If their value is not found, I want them to return not found. But I do not want an exact match. So when we were discussing all the various parameters, we've come to the match mode here. The default value is 0, which is exact match. So if I type nothing, I will get only the exact match values. So let's close our bracket here and see what happens. And you will see that I have found no values that correspond to any of these percentage achievements. And this is because none of these values exist in my list of values over here. So how can I fix this? Let's go back to our formula and add the fifth parameter into our argument, which is the match mode. So what I want to do is I want to select the exact match or the next smaller item. And I will explain why I've done this. But for now, let's go with a -1 over here and see what happens. So when I do a -1 over here, it says that 63% corresponds to a bronze tier. Let's go back to our list of values. And you can see that my bronze starts at 40% and it ends at 75%. So 63% comes in between these two values, which means it should be bronze. Now, another way of interpreting this table could be that you get bronze if you are between 0 to 40. So in that case, 63% should come to silver, right? So that is what these parameters tell me, that if I do -1, then my match mode is going to be, let me just show you again. So if I do -1, it defaults to the next smaller item, which means the lower end of the range, which is my bronze tier. But if I were to do 1, which is a positive value, then it defaults to the next larger item, which in this case will be silver. So by doing these modifications, you can pull the kind of values that you want over here. In my case, I want this to default to the lower value, so I'm going to go with -1. And now let's drag this down and see what happens. So as you can see over here, a person who has achieved 13.52% is below expectations, which, as you can see, as per our table, makes perfect sense, because we want a person who has achieved below 40% to be below expectations. However, if in your table you wanted this person to be marked as bronze, all you would need to do is change your -1 parameter to a +1, and that's what the function would automatically do for you. And this, I think, will give you so many different ways that you can work with your data in the easiest possible way. And I think that these three applications of the Xlookup function are truly what encapsulate the bulk of the powerhouse that this function really is.